Sage Montessori is seeking an assistant educator. The mission of Sage Montessori is to make Montessori education a realistic option for all families. So what is Montessori education? It all started in 1907 by Dr. Maria Montessori. She was an educator and a doctor in Italy, and she developed this amazing method of education, particularly for young children, but it's grown to include children of all ages. And it's revolutionary, it's really exciting, and it's been around for a while. It's been around since 1907, all around the world. This is Dr. Montessori herself in India in the 1940s. And this is in America. The best estimates are that there are 4,500 Montessori schools in the United States and about 20,000 worldwide. You can find schools still in India. You can find schools in Africa. No matter where you are in the world, if you're in a Montessori environment, you'll notice certain similar things. You'll notice that the children choose work. Instead of there being large group activities and the children being shuffled from one activity to the next, being told it's time for outdoor play, it's time for this, it's time for that. Instead, in a Montessori environment, there are long blocks of time where children choose an activity that they're interested in doing. There are hundreds of educational activities in any Montessori environment, the same types of activities all around the world. These are activities that have been tested and tried for over 100 years. They've proven to be interesting and engaging and educational for children, and they've proven to be fun. For the children, these feel like games. They're challenges, puzzles, they're exciting for them. Montessori guides are trained to prepare the environment. That includes gathering all of these materials, making sure that they're set up properly, making sure that it's a beautiful environment, making sure that it's child-friendly and child-sized. Guides are trained to observe the children. Observing the children helps us to understand what each child's interests are, what they're learning in each moment, what to show them next, what their particular challenges are, and how best to support them. And guides also present the materials. Each material, activity, game, however you want to think about it, has a particular learning outcome for it. And the guides show the child how to do that activity when they're ready for it. When they've observed that they're interested in that particular thing, or when they've mastered the activity that comes before it, then the guide shows them how to do it. It's a one-on-one presentation in most cases. And after that presentation, the children are free to choose that activity anytime they're interested in it. That's how their menu of activities increases, by having the Montessori guide present it to them. As an assistant educator, you will help maintain the environment, to keep it beautiful, to keep it well stocked, to keep things where they're supposed to be so that children can find them, to make sure that it's safe and attractive for the children at all times. You will also observe the children, because there's a lot going on at any given time. When you've got 20 to 30 children, each choosing something that they're interested in, that's a lot happening. And your observations of what children are interested in. Maybe you notice that a particular child really likes to do things with water. Or maybe you notice that another child really likes to do things with their friend. Or you notice that there's a child who's begun counting all the time. These are things that telling the guide helps them to choose what to do, how to present to the children. Assistant educators also support the children. There are many things going on in the environment. Children are trying to do things as independently as possible, but sometimes they need a little bit of help. And adults can support them with just a little bit, just enough to help them to do the things by themselves. Maybe that's tying the apron strings because they're not quite able to do it yet. Maybe that's helping them to tie their shoes because they're not quite able to yet. Maybe it's helping them clean up something that they just are having difficulty with, or getting a supply from the closet because the stock has run out in the environment. There are many different things that children might need a little bit of support with. But as adults, we try to give them just enough so they can do it by themselves. Every day in a Montessori environment is different. There are a lot of different things going on. One thing that assistant educators can really help with every day is language development. That could be English, that could be other languages as well. But singing songs, reading books, telling stories, doing dances, games, conversations. These would happen with individual children or in small groups of 3 to 4 children. We rarely do things with large groups. This is a lot of small group activity, but it gives you a chance to really focus on that activity with the children to help them engage and learn and be excited. So it's a lot of interaction with children in many different ways. At Sage Montessori, we want to offer a career path. It begins as an assistant educator with training at the Montessori Training Center of New England. It's a 2-week course. It gives all the basics in Montessori education and philosophy to help you to support the environment to the best of your ability. If that proves to be exciting and interesting and you want to learn more and learn how the materials are presented and what they're supposed to do, the next step would be to become a Montessori guide. We would support you in enrolling and completing a training course from the Association Montessori Internationale. It's a longer course, and there are different formats available to take different amounts of time. But that would be the next step on a path to becoming a professional Montessori educator. As a Montessori guide, you would have the opportunity to become a partner at Sage Montessori, which would be not only working with the children, but also managing and administering the school, helping to make the big decisions that determine how the school is run. A career path begins as an assistant educator. And if you're interested in learning more about Montessori education, if you're interested in working with children in a calm, peaceful environment where children are choosing what they're interested in, and as adults we're moving around and helping here and there, then please contact Sage Montessori, contact me. I'd be happy to talk to you more about it. Thank you.